Hi guys, how you doing today? Matthew Lippert back here with another video. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and instead of doing a turkey or a ham, we're going to do my Texas-style brisket today. I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. Got my cutting board here, got my big hunk of meat over in the kitchen, and I'm going to run through the seasoning real quick, but I wanted to get this intro out of the way. Do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video, leave your comments in the comments section. I look forward to hearing how you like this recipe, and tell me what part of the world or the country that you're watching this from. It's good to see what kind of reach this channel has. So let me go ahead and get reset and we'll get started. Okay, I've got all my seasoning here. Got a 1/4 cup of paprika. I'll leave all this stuff in the description below, so you'll have all this there. I've got a 1/4 cup of kosher salt, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of white sugar. I've got 1/8 of a cup of cumin. I have a 1/4 cup of my favorite seasoning, Ancho chili powder, 1/4 cup of black pepper, and 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper. Get all this stuff mixed up here, get all your lumps out of it. And then what I do is I put it in a shaker like this. It's an old garlic salt container. I put a label on it that said brisket rub. I've got one for tri-tip and one for a bunch of different seasonings. That way I've got a shaker that I can just shake this stuff on with, get a nice even coat, and get it seasoned like I want to. You got to just make sure you get all the lumps out of here, because the lumps won't come out of that shaker very well. So make sure you get all the lumps out of it. Get your seasoning mixed together real well. And this is an amazing recipe. Some people like just pepper and salt, and some people like more than what I got. I mean, this is not a real complicated seasoning recipe, but man, it is sure good. So get it all mixed up here good. And then we're going to go get this hunk of meat. I'm going to trim some of the fat off of it. It's a 15.5 pound brisket. So we're going to have some fun with this baby. Another little chunk right there. All right. I use Ancho chili powder on just about everything. All right. Let me go. A little bit of a spillage there. Let me go get that piece of meat, and then we'll start doing some trimming. I'm doing this all sitting at the dining room table today. I don't normally do this, but we just got a new couch, and our house is not very big, and the kitchen's tiny, and the living room's not very big, and I haven't figured out how I'm going to rearrange all this stuff to be able to do this in the kitchen. So I'm going to do it right here at the dining room table. I don't cut all the fat off. I got a little bit too much there. Fat is flavor, so you want to keep a certain amount of that fat there. And we'll talk about where that fat comes into play about 2:30 in the morning when I'm putting this thing on. People ask me all the time, how long does this thing take? And I said, you cook until it's done. I don't have a time. It's just all temperature based. And I've had these things done in 10.5 hours, and I've had them take just under 14. So a lot of this fat will render down while it's cooking. And but like I say, I like to leave some of that fat on there, because that's where the flavor comes from. The sharper the knife you have here for doing this, the better off you are. If you have a knife that's like a dull spoon, well, this is going to be a little bit of a struggle. This isn't the sharpest knife in the world, but it's the sharpest one I got. So it's the one I use. I mean, there's a lot of fat here. I don't buy anything trimmed. I don't buy tri-tip trimmed. Nothing, because when you buy meat that's trimmed, they cut all the fat off. And you got to have some fat on there. And then there's the big debate of, do you cook it fat cap up or fat cap down? Like I say, we'll talk about that at 2:30 in the morning. Not that you're going to be awake then, but I will be. And if it gets done early, then we'll just throw it in a cooler, and it'll stay warm in that cooler for hours. And then yank it out when we're getting ready to eat. Ooh, very careful there. End up cutting my finger. This knife is definitely sharp enough to cut my finger. I've done it a few times, especially when it's in the sink. I'm getting ready to do dishes. I forget how sharp this thing is sometimes and just slices me. That's not too bad. And then the other side is pretty clean and green. A little bit of fat here I'll cut off. And I am very liberal with the rub on this thing. I don't skimp. Some people do, but this thing, I want a good seasoning on there. There. Let me get all this stuff here thrown away. And then let me get my foil all set up so that we can put the seasoning on it. Okay, I'm back. I got my foil. I've got the extra wide foil and it's still not wide enough, so I creased this about 5 times right here in the seam so it stay together. I got enough to wrap the whole thing. You know, if you got really good eyes, you can probably see that some of this foil has a shiny side toward the food and some of it doesn't. And there's this old wives' tale about how you can't put the shiny side of the foil on the food side. It's not designed that way. And, well, I watched this show called How It's Made one time, and they were at the Reynolds factory. Because I like Reynolds wrap. I bought some of the store brand stuff, and it just isn't as strong. And so I like to buy the Reynolds. And so the host there asked this Reynolds guy, he says, so what's the difference between the shiny side and the dull side? Is there a difference? I mean, does it matter if you put the shiny side toward the food? And the guy kind of laughed. He says, makes absolutely no difference at all. He said, that's just how it comes out during the manufacturing process. It doesn't matter which side is against the food. So that's one of those old wives' tales that just gets spread down from generation to generation. So from the Reynolds company themselves, it doesn't matter which side of that foil hits that food. So here I got my brisket rub in this shaker. Shake this stuff out here pretty good. Again, I don't want to see a whole lot of meat by the time I finish here. I mean, there will be on the edges, but there won't be on the top and the bottom. You're going to put seasoning on this hunk of meat. Make sure you're putting seasoning that's going to do some good, you know. All right. Pat this down a little bit and hope it doesn't all fall off when I flip it. Some will, and what I do is when I put this thing on the smoker in the morning or the middle of the night, I'll add a little bit more seasoning. Now the meat will stick to that, so no big deal. Now I'll do the fat side same way. And I'm going to use, on this one piece of meat, I'm going to use just about all of this shaker. Because like I said, I want a lot of seasoning. Don't be bashful. Remember, all that seasoning I mixed up, almost all of it goes on one brisket. On these wider ends here, I try and get some up against that as well. Pat it down a little bit. Got a paper towel here. I can get some of this off of my hands before I try to wrap it. Bring the foil over and just wrap it up. And then it will go in the refrigerator until morning time. I'm going to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and endeavor to have this thing on the Traeger at 2:30. So get up at 2, I'll go fire that Traeger up, and I'll go through all that process with you in the morning as well, with adding more seasoning, everything else. So until 2:30 in the morning, have a good day. Good morning, guys. It's almost 2:30 in the morning. I've got my big piece of meat here I'm getting ready to put on. My Traeger is at $2.25. Here's this big piece of meat. I'm going to flip it to, I want the fat cap up. Now, you can see where it's not, doesn't have quite the coverage because it's been laying in its own stuff. So, as it, when you take it out, let it kind of set a little bit, and to come up to room temperature a little bit, get some of that juices in there. So, and then some of it ends up on the bottom of the foil. So there you go. I've got my meter thermometers in here. This isn't a meter thermometer video, so I'm not going to go into great detail. But my Traeger does not have Wi-Fi, so that's how I kind of make it Wi-Fi. So that thing is in the Traeger. It's I can't even tell what time it is, but it's somewhere around 2:30 in the morning. So I'm going to close that before I lose any more heat, and then I'll check in periodically with that thing. And now I'll get my meter thermometers programmed, and we'll see you in a little while. Okay, guys, here's this brisket. Took it out actually a couple of hours ago. It's been sitting in the cooler for a little while, staying warm. Open that cooler and nice and steamy. I had to put it in this pan because it's there's all kinds of that good liquid goodness in there. Got a little bit of this off. It is still hot. 2 hours in the cooler. It is still hot. Look at that. A nice smoke ring around there. That good apple wood. Nice and juicy. It is hot. I gotta cut this in half. Get me a good little bite here so I can taste this. Oh, it's falling apart. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. All right. Oh my God. That is so stinking good. If you've never cooked brisket, check out this recipe. If you have any questions, leave those in the comment section. I'll reply as appropriate. Let me know what part of the country, what part of the world you're watching this from. It's always cool to see the reach of this channel. Smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Until next time, I hope you have a great day and may God bless you.